Hello there, Ray here, and I am wearing the most powerful armor set in Vanilla Survival Minecraft. Oh yeah, it's a gold helmet. Well, my gold helmet has Protection 8. That's right guys, we have discovered a way to get overpowered god armor in Vanilla Survival Minecraft. So today I will be showing you how you can get overpowered god armor such as the Protection 8 gold helmet, as well as the Protection 6 diamond helmet, as well as some really insane enchanted bows that can be acquired all in Vanilla Survival. As you guys know, I play on Prototech, which is the server that has the goal of collecting every type of item, mob, as well as block in a 100% vanilla survival game. And one of the recent goals on the server was to collect these strange bows that have more than one power enchantment on them, such as like a power 2 and a power 1 all on the same bow. And one of the Protech members, Narcoleptic Frog, looked in the code and discovered that it was actually coming from the horsemen that come from the trap horses. Those come from lightning strikes. So these would be able to actually get the power enchantment placed on their bow twice. This is because the skeleton itself would get the ability to get enchantment on his bow, as well as the actual horseman would be able to get this bow enchantment on it as well. So this can apply to both bows as well as helmets. This is how you can actually get double enchantments on these type of items. If you want to know more about how the enchantments are placed onto the items, as well as the probability of getting these items in the game, Narcoleptic Frog is doing a separate video where he will talk all about the chances of getting these types of armor, as well as more of the code base and how this bug occurs. So check out his video, which I will link down in the description. We concluded that it would be possible to get other conflicting enchantments, such as this diamond helmet, which has enchantment of protection 3 as well as projectile protection 4, all on the same item. This normally wouldn't be possible in survival if you try to put enchantments on, because those two enchantments conflict with each other and the game wouldn't allow you to place them on there. But using this bug, we can actually get this type of helmet in survival. Although we can get some really crazy enchantments placed on these items, we are limited to what a horseman will give you. The horseman will only come out with helmets as well as bows, having these double enchantments on them. Now we're also limited to what enchantments can actually help. Now there's tons of different enchantments you can see that we can get doubled up on, as well as helmets. All the different type of enchantments that can be placed in helmets can also be doubled up. But out of all these enchantments, the only one that actually helps you in the game is the protections. So the normal protections as well as the specialized protections will double up. So this here is a protection 3 plus protection 3, and that is a protection 6. It acts so in survival, and this is a protection 8. Now we are also limited to what a skeleton can actually get enchanted. Now mobs that spawn in the game can only get up to enchanting level 22 on their items. So this means we cannot get a protection 4 on this helmet. Since it's diamond, we can only get up to a protection 3, and we can get 2 of those. This means gold helmets are a little bit different. They can get better enchantments. They always have been. And now we can get protection 4 on a gold helmet, and we can get 2 of those. So this is protection 8. These do add up, and this means you can actually get a protection 8 helmet with the rest of your gear. This will allow you to actually get the maximum protection possible in vanilla. As you guys probably know, trap horses are extremely rare to come across in survival, and that's why we are using my trap horse farm, which I designed, and this is the same one that's on Prototech, which I will show a little bit later in the video how you can set this up. But this allows you to maximize the amount of trap horses that you can collect in survival. So pretty much every day there is a chance of a thunderstorm if you do not sleep away the day, and the thunderstorm will allow lightning to strike in a 19 by 19 chunk area around you. So you do need a render distance of at least 11 or higher to get the maximum area, and this will allow a lightning strike to occur, and there's about 6% chance out of high difficulty that if a lightning strikes, it will produce a trapped horse. Then the trapped horse will be inside of this water streams, which are all coming towards the center here, and eventually take them and drop them down this hole here. Now this will allow you to be able to get roughly around 4 trap horses per 24 hours. So yeah, even with a big farm like this, it's extremely rare. So if a thunderstorm would occur, you can see that the trapped horse is coming towards the center here, and the player would be AFKing near the center. Now, once the horse becomes so close to the player, it will turn into the 4 horsemen, and then you can see the 4 horsemen will become they'll get pushed along just like the horse did, and they'll get pushed down into this double water stream here, which will separate the skeleton horses from the skeletons themselves. Very nice. Now you can either kill off the horses, or you can save them, because they're pretty cool. I would save them, but for now I'm just killing them off. And then the skeletons are taken over here. You can see that every single skeleton will have an enchanted helmet as well as an enchanted bow. And there's only a chance that these skeletons will also be able to have armor put on them prior to their normal armor putting on them. So they could have like diamond gear on them, but that's quite rare. So normally you would get the iron helmets with the enchanted bows. So since you only get around 16 of the horsemen per 24 hours, you can just let them build up and kill them off manually. Some things you want to make sure is max cramming. You can put a bind in there to prevent max cramming. Or you also want to make sure that there is a block above their head so that their helmets don't break from the sunlight if you AFK here too long. But you could come in here with a sword such as this one, which has Unbreaking 3, Smite 5, Sweeping Edge 3, and Looting 3. Main thing is to have Looting 3 so you have the highest probability of collecting the gear that they have. And you can come in here and manually kill them and then hope you just get one of the helmets that have the double enchantments or some other neat item such as their bows. You also got some bows down here. Don't look like anything today. So you could manually kill off the horsemen every so often, but some of these helmets are so extremely hard to acquire, such as this diamond one here with the double protection 3 on it. You would have to kill off around 100 million horsemen just to have a chance of getting one of these helmets. And this is the best scenario. So that means you would have to be in hard difficulty as well as the trap horsemen opened up and the horsemen are spawned. All those horsemen would have to be in chunk with the highest difficulty, so you'd want the difficulty to be the max, which means that you would want to have your settings too hard. So here's the difficulty. You want to make sure you get that all the way maxed out. Now, this means it's extremely hard to get these type of helmets, so you may want to automate the process like I have done here. So this is a infinitely automatic AFK system that allows you to get the Looting 3 effect. So with this system here, you wouldn't have to use any type of macro to kill off the skeletons. All you have to do is AFK over here. So this is the spot where the player would AFK. And you would want to have some projectile protection on both sets of armor as well as unbreaking, mending, and thorns. So essentially we're going to kill off the skeleton using the thorns. So the skeleton is going to shoot at us. Then our thorns will eventually hurt the skeleton. This will cause him to die. And we'll be holding a Looting 3 sword in our hand. And this will allow us to get the looting effect even though we didn't have to do anything because we'll just be AFKing here. Now they did remove recently the ability to hit a skeleton with like a snowball while also holding Looting 3. That is no longer possible in the game. And that's why we're using the thorns effect. So you can actually increase the chance of you getting, or the skeleton getting hurt by the thorns if you hold a thorns armor in your offhand. Now this is something I discovered and I made a video about it and you can check it out down in the description. But pretty much if you hold the thorns armor in your offhand, you can also get the thorns effect. So now we essentially have 3 pieces of armor, which will all be given the thorns effect, and I'm holding the Looting 3 in my hand. Now you don't want to have mending on the Looting 3 sword or on this other piece of armor that has the thorns on it. Otherwise they'll just use up XPs where they don't need to be taken in. Now if we switch over to survival, we can see the skeleton will shoot at us and he's taking damage because of the thorns armor. And the XP that comes from the skeleton will turn around and repair our armor again. Now if you have more than 2 pieces, the game will start getting confused and it won't be able to repair them all. But I found out that 2 pieces is about the best. And with this system here, you would probably want to have the regeneration effect. So what the regeneration beacon is used for is to heal the player while he's taking damage from the skeleton or when he's taking damage from starvation. Because over time, because you're taking damage, the game will eventually use up all your hunger, and this will mean you start taking starvation. So you're taking starvation, plus you'll be taking damage from the skeleton. But recently, they actually rebuffed regeneration beacons in survival. This will allow you to actually be able to regenerate hearts from starvation, plus regenerate hearts that are being taken down by the skeleton. This is really nice because this means we don't have to use any type of food in the farm. We can just use a regeneration beacon. But if you choose to not want to use a regeneration beacon, then you also have the option to use food. So I'll show you the option as well. Pretty much instead of having the thorns in your offhand, you will have to have a food source. So you will always have to keep the looting in your main hand. You cannot keep it in your offhand. But you could actually have your food in the offhand. The easiest method is using a mushroom cow. And if you have your game with your right click button held down, you can eat the food in your offhand, such as this soup. So if I eat this soup, I can re-heal, and I can take it, re-heal some of my hunger, and this will eventually give me regeneration. And then if I'm right-clicking right in front of this mushroom cow, I can keep resupplying my supply of soup. And this will allow you to keep getting food. Now, if you don't want to move a mushroom cow all the way to your location, you can also use chickens as well. So back here, I just have a simple chicken farm, which will allow you to be able to give the player some cooked chicken every so often. And what you pretty much want to do is just have the cooked chicken in your offhand instead of having the soup, and this will allow you to heal. Now since you only kill off about 16 horsemen per day, you really only need to give yourself about 16 cooked chickens per day as well. So you don't need a very big chicken farm, but you can see how this entire system will allow you to be able to get the looting effect from killing these skeletons, all while being infinitely automatic. So there is a chance that you can get a skeleton with armor on it, and then after you kill the skeleton off, the armor is collected underneath with these hoppers here. So we got some hoppers and they are placed over here. You can see like here I got a bow with power 1 as well as power 2. Here I got a bow that has unbreaking 1 as well as unbreaking 3. So like I say, it's pretty common, like around 12% chance to get a bow with a double enchantments. So if you want to go for that, I say that is a pretty good start for a goal. And if you want to go for a little harder goal, you can also go for the goal of getting a helmet with the double enchantments. But you can see they do drop their armor as well as their helmets just because I'm holding the looting effect, and that will increase it by around 11%. Now the way that this farm works is actually pretty cool as well. So pretty much what we got going on here is a ability to suffocate the skeletons, get them down to a low amount of hearts, and then send them over to the player and let them kill them. The minecart will come over, pick up one skeleton, it'll suffocate them for a certain amount of time, and then once that's over, then it'll send the skeleton over to the player. Now you want to make sure to get the skeleton down as low as possible while also not killing it. So once it's over here in the player, then it'll be within range of the player and it'll see the player and it will attack him. And there's also just some circuitry to prevent the door from accidentally opening up prematurely. And then we got some circuitry to also rotate the rail. So it's really simple, compacted it down, not really too much to it. And you can see that this can easily be used to AFK for an infinite amount of time and allow yourself to hopefully get a really cool helmet in survival. So the easiest way to build up the trap horse farm is to find a large body of ocean, preferably 19 by 19 chunks. Now, although this is one of the biggest perimeters that you could build in survival, it is pretty easy to build, and I have made it so that you can almost build the entire thing while being AFK. So the first part is to put in the stone lanes, and we do this just by dropping lava over top of the water. The next step we'll do is to elevate the water up 1 meter. This will cause the water to come over across and make this washing effect. Then all we have to do is come in and place in some blocks here, preferably like pressure plates. So the building of the stone lanes is really simple. You just build up this machine here, which I will link down in the description if you want to know more about it. And I'll also link where we actually built this entire farm up in our survival world so you can see what we actually did to get this to work. But pretty much what you will want to do is sit in this minecart and then face the stair here, and you'll be in survival, and you'll place the lava up against this bottom part here, and then you also have food in your offhand just in case you ever take damage, which can happen on servers. And then the machine will update itself when the lava reaches the bottom and move the player forward, and then he can pick up the lava, which will be closer to him in his face, and then he can set it back on top of the stairs again. This is a really easy way to make farm automatic, and you can also do this while being AFK. So after you have created all the stone lanes for this farm, then you can come in and build this machine, which will raise the water up. So essentially what I got here is armor stand with Frostwalker on it, and the machine will move forward, he'll freeze the water, then this piston will lift the water up and it'll unfreeze, and it'll create these nice water lanes which will flow to either side. Now I did a video about this one also. If you want to know more about it, I will link it in the description, but pretty much what we'll do is just update this machine. And you can see it's freezing the water, and then we have piston in here which is lifting the water up, and the water is getting flow to either side. Now after that machine has passed over and you've done all that, then you can just come in and place in your pressure plates. This will just allow the water to only be flowing in one direction. That's what I got going on right here. Pretty simple, and I'll just come in and stop this machine. But you can see that this entire perimeter is actually not too difficult to build up with all these AFK machines. So if you would like to build up the Trap Horse Farm, I will provide a world download in the description, and maybe you'll even be lucky enough to acquire such rare helmets as these. Now also check out Narcoleptic Frog to go into all the percentages of how rare some helmets are and what you can and cannot do with these helmets. So now you guys can go off and try to obtain possibly the rarest item that can be obtained in Vanilla Survival Minecraft. Now if you found this interesting, show me the like. If you'd like to see more crazy contraptions like this, subscribe, and don't forget if you have any questions, be sure to comment. Bye bye!